let's test out the Bicep Vaporizer. Now, this thing was the second. I wanted to create a heavily modded variant of the very first pedal that I ever owned as a child. It's the Boss OS2, which is overdrive distortion. Now, the original OS2, like you have a level, a drive, and a tone. And then your blender knob, it blends between the two circuits that are OD3 overdrive and then the DS1 distortion. I was initially going to modify my original OS2. Why don't I just like breadboard the modded version of what I want and see if I can get it to work? And if I can get it to work, then let's, put that into, cram that into a pedal. And sure enough, I got something that was just unbelievably versatile, and I was extremely, extremely happy with it. And it became the Bicep Vaporizer. So it does have it still has dual circuits, and they are running parallel, and it's controlled by what what I call the blender knob. And it is a symmetrical clipping overdrive that will do anything from a boost to an overdrive to a distortion, and it parallel with the asymmetrical distortion, which will go anywhere from the overdrive to distortion to full out fuzz, like where it sounds like your amp's dying and your speaker's caving in. Like I said, they run in parallel. There's five silicon clipping diodes, three in asymmetrical for the distortion side, and 2 for symmetrical for the overdrive side. There are 2 dual op amps and both JFET and bijunction transistors. To quote my good friend, one of my best friends, Rusty, he said that he cannot get a bad tone. I left him the prototype for a few weeks, and it inspired him to jam every single day, and it didn't matter what guitar he put into it, where he dialed the knobs, he could not get a bad tone out of it. And that's a huge compliment to me. And my buddy Jeremiah Justice, from the Sound of Justice FX, he has one. So I've got the prototype back. Now, if we want to go overdrive, we're going to keep the blender completely counterclockwise. We're going to move the drive from around 8 to 9 o'clock. Here's the pedals engaged. There's at 9 o'clock. So the volume's back at 2 o'clock. And then the distortion's anywhere from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So I'll go through that right now. And then add the volume back. Adding a little more treble. It's a good sounding overdrive, I think. And, well, in this case, it's technically now in distortion. But it's still the overdrive circuit, if you get where I'm going. It's a symmetrical overdrive. Right. So if you wanted to do the blender knob completely clockwise, which is the distortion circuit, and you have the overdrive, you have overdrive if you take the drive knob all the way at complete counterclockwise. And as you can tell, it's a much different characteristic. Now, distortion will be if you take the drive and move it from 8 to 3 o'clock. And that's already getting into fuzz territory. But yeah. I moved the gain back to 12 noon. What if we had the compressor? I know it gets unruly. Now, fuzz, what we're all here for. Come on, let's be real. Take that drive knob, go all the way over. I mean, that's a beautiful woolly sumbit. Now, cut the drive to about 2 o'clock and take the blender knob, move it to 3 o'clock. So now you've got just a small amount, maybe 15-20% of overdrive max. But you're removing the entire characteristic of what makes it a fuzz by adding in that clarity. And we'll probably need to move the tone knob down. Tone knob to 3 o'clock. I mean, it crushes. It absolutely crushes. You can use it on bass too. Take the blender at 12 noon. Overdrive and distortion right there. Add a little more drive. clean tone. Just to give you the reference. I mean, it crushes. Again, it's all in context. It's all going to sound different with, if you're using a clean amp like a 65 deluxe reverb, or if you're using something like a Marshall JCM 800, or if you're using something like PV 5150. It just depends on everything is all.